The eternal battle between automatic and manual. A struggle where ideologies clash, skill is tested, and what is necessary. Many people have come to believe that manual transmissions, or stick shifts, are only for sports car drivers, reserved for the ranks of NASCAR and Formula One. However, this is far from the truth, as many people outside this area have learned the techniques behind these cars, whether it be for fun or even for a job. Have you ever caught yourself pondering how you might learn the ways of the stick shift? If so, then look no further than this easy-to-use, step-by-step instruction set. Whether it's for the fun of learning a new skill, or to impress all of the ladies with your hot new sports car, this guide will have you driving like a champion in no time. All you need are the following: a relatively flat open area, without traffic, a manual transmission car, possibly from a friend or family member, the keys for that car, and a willing and able mentality, as it will take practice to get the techniques just right. First, let's take a moment to get acquainted with the differences between an automatic and manual transmission car. Obviously, there's a new pedal involved. This is the clutch pedal. Pushing the clutch pedal down disengages the transmission, while letting it out engages it. While an automatic transmission normally takes care of this for you, a manual transmission requires that you do the work. Next up is the brake pedal. While this is commonplace in any car, some people new to manual transmissions car may be tempted to try using the left foot for braking due to its use with the clutch. This, however, is a very advanced technique, so much so that it's only used by the most advanced drivers. It is important to remember to use your right foot only for the brake. Finally, there's the gas pedal. This may seem commonplace as well, but you'll find that it is much more sensitive in a manual transmission car than an automatic. There is also no lag time between pressing the pedal and the acceleration, as there is sometimes in an automatic car. The most difficult and distinguishing part of driving a stick shift is the use of the clutch and the gas pedals in conjunction with each other, as well as the stick. Now let's have a look at the dashboard. You'll find all of the usual gauges, including the tachometer and speedometer. When first learning how to drive a stick, these gauges have an important role. The tachometer, which shows the RPM or revolutions per minute of the engine, can tell new users when it's time to release the clutch pedal or when to shift. Typically, a good RPM to release the clutch pedal when starting from a stop is 2,500, and around 3,000 for a shift. These numbers will vary slightly depending on the horsepower and weight of the car, as heavier cars with less horsepower will need higher RPMs to begin moving. The area on the far right of the tachometer is known as the red line. This is the maximum RPM that the engine can reach. Since you will be entirely in control of the engine's throttle, you must be careful not to exceed this area. While most cars are now controlled by computers that will shut off the engine automatically if the RPMs reach any point of danger, running them up into the right area can be hard on the engine and is generally not recommended. The speedometer also plays a new role, as it can inform you when to shift. Every gear has an ideal range of speed that it can be used for. For instance, first gear is most effective between 0 and 20, and second gear is most useful between 15 and 35. Keep in mind that, like RPMs, these numbers vary slightly depending on the weight and horsepower of the car. Finally, the last crucial difference is the stick. While automatics have a shifting stick, its operation differs greatly from that of a manual. The stick controls the gearbox, and therefore what gear you are in. The handbrake plays a much more important role in a manual transmission car as well. Automatics usually have a park gear, for when the car is not in use. Manuals lack such a gear, however, and require the use of the handbrake instead. While this is usually sufficient, leaving the car in any gear once it's turned off is an extra countermeasure to avoid the car from going anywhere while it is unattended. As you can see from the top of the stick, there is a map showing the path to each gear. This car has 5 gears, and a reverse gear, but cars can have up to 7 gears. Some cars, mainly Audis and Volkswagens, may have the reverse located on the left side of the gearbox, and require a special operation to allow the stick into position. When the stick is centered in the gearbox and can be wiggled from side to side without the clutch pressed in, the car is in neutral. This means no gear is engaged. This is the only safe place to release the clutch when stopped while the car is running. It is a good habit to check that you are in this neutral area before releasing the clutch when coming to a stop. Now take a moment to get acquainted with the location of the gears. Start by pushing in the clutch and holding it. Then, move the left stick forward and left into first. Then, straight back in the second, forward and right in the third, and so on. Do this as many times as you need to get comfortable with the spacing and the location of each gear.